In today's top 10, we'll be using a random number generator to tell us which generation we should have 2 Pokemon from. Sure, I could just pick or add more Pokemon to the list beyond 10, but this is much more over the top and unnecessary. Alright, I got 2, 5, and 98. Well, guess we'll just wing the last one. There are quite a few factors that can make a Pokemon iconic. How well known it is, how often they pop up in the games, if Game Freak decided to promote that Pokemon a lot. This top 10 will pick out a few unique Pokemon that also exude that iconic feeling. We'll leave out legendaries and mythical Pokemon and also try to mix it up a bit with a Pokemon from different categories. That way we won't have 10 dragons or 10 starter Pokemon, but still have ones that can fit the idea of being the most iconic Pokemon in that generation. Welcome everyone to the top 10 most iconic Pokemon from each generation. Number 10, Zoroark. Zoroark is a Pokemon that stood out in the 5th generation. Game Freak took the South Park approach where if it's unable to be easily gotten, then everyone thinks it's even more important. With Pokemon Black and White having some mixed reviews, Zoroark was a Pokemon that consistently stood at the top by not being garbage. This is also a Pokemon that can shapeshift into any Pokemon it wants, so if it's put on some holiday weight and feeling a little self-conscious, then it can turn to a Pikachu and get pretty much whatever it wants. Number 9, Milotic. Milotic always felt up there with Pokemon like Salamence and Metagross. They were the trio of non-legendaries that a lot of us wanted on our team. Milotic seemed like one of the bosses of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, as it was the Pokemon that would stand in the way of obtaining that final gym badge, and even upgrading to mirror coating our hopes and dreams away of being the champion in Pokemon Emerald. We also can't forget just how hard it is to even obtain this beauty. Catching a Feebas was hard enough, but now I gotta grow some specific berries? What kind of Pokemon makes someone have to tend to plants before you can even catch it? Well, probably every grass type. Milotic's difficulty to obtain made it a memorable Pokemon, as Google was flooded with the prime question, seriously, how do I get this? That, alongside Milotic's beauty and grace, kept it standing strong as one of the frontrunners of Pokemon in Generation 3. Number 8, Toucannon. It's hard to pick a real icon for Sun and Moon with how new the games are. Sure, we could use starters, trial Pokemon, but Toucannon really feels like it encapsulates its region better than any other normal flying type does for theirs. Toucannon has a wonderful island feel that if someone was trying to show off how tropical the games felt, then this would be a good Pokemon to exemplify those feelings, more so than even the starters can. And look at how angry this bird is. If I didn't pick it, it'd probably attack me. Angry Cannon is also a great icon for Pokemon Sun and Moon with how mad everyone got about it. Number 7, Scizor. While Scizor was an evolution from the 1st generation, its sleek look and powerful attacks let it burst into the Pokemon scene as being a good Pokemon itself, rather than just a cool evolution to a past Pokemon. There are always those Pokemon that look like they were just added for the sake of evolving someone without really having that standout factor that Scizor had. Scizor wasn't just that. Scizor was the shining example of what a next evolution should be. It even had some fun small cameos like Super Smash Bros. And being the elusive Pokemon to pop up in the Pokemon Stadium minigames that everyone wanted to see chop some trees. And even being one of only 3 Pokemon to receive a Mega Evolution after evolving in a future generation. Little things like that help Scizor to get his Facebook profile page up to just about nearly the friend limit. Number 6, Stunfisk. If you can think about Generation 5 without thinking about Stunfisk, then, well, I mean, sure, someone's probably capable of that. But with how often Stunfisk is brought up when talking about the Unova region, it's hard to look at Unova without thinking, man, I really want to hear that cry again. While Stunfisk isn't the most liked Pokemon, it's hard to argue against it being one of the most well-known and most mentioned Pokemon of Generation 5. And if Unova had a national flag, then Stunfisk would probably be on it. This is why there's 2 Gen 5 Pokemon on this list. Wait, I mean it was random. Number 5, Houndoom. While I know this might be a bit of a controversial pick, I'm gonna do what I normally do with a version. Ignore it. Number 4, alright, fine. While a Pokemon like Tyranitar or Skarmory might fit this list a little bit better, Houndoom is the cool dark horse in the background, not really caring about the attention that it gets, but receiving a good amount of it. Generation 2 brought about 2 new typings, but that wasn't just it. It also stood out as a region where dual typings were really diversified without being over the top. This fiery hound had the brand new dark type, combined with possibly the most popular typing of the previous games. Not only did that make it a Pokemon on our watch list, it also inadvertently displayed Pokemon Gold and Silver's beautiful combination of Johto and Kanto. It really felt like the quintessential sequel dog Pokemon that pushed out the comparison and gained its own notoriety as an iconic Pokemon. Number 4, Lucario. Lucario was in like 7 different plot points, got a Mega Evolution, 2 guys that dressed up to look like it, constantly gave off this iconic aura, tagged alongside 2 different gym leaders, and was a main character in Pokemon, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Look, it's in my thumbnail. Lucario is as synonymous with Generation 4 as milk is with cereal. Or cereal is with milk. Number 3. Greninja. Starter Pokemon are a pretty easy pick as a notable Pokemon in each generation. But when you've got a Toad that unloads its Ash Greninja mode during their Strode, beating up people's Pokemon loads, only to be crowed and stowed needing to take the high road because losing isn't Ash's code and he's plateaued, well then that's just a good Pokemon. Also, it's not a Toad. Number 2. Metagross. I've always felt as though Metagross just had its own feeling compared to the other Pokemon when the 3rd generation came out. There's a lot of Pokemon we could choose for this list, but Metagross is a Pokemon that's pretty hard to compare to the rest. Its style was its own, it even looks somewhat alien-like, so everyone could continue to post that we were able to go to the moon. It stood out and was even the signature Pokemon of Steven, making it similar to Milotic in its boss-like feeling. The Pokemon Company even gave away a shiny version of Metagross, as well as Mega Evolving it during the release of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This really solidified it as being a main contributor to the roster of amazing Pokemon we could choose from in the 3rd generation. Number 1. We all knew it would come to this, a battle between 2 Generation 1 Pokemon for the top spot. But just which one will get it? It's no surprise that these Pokemon would normally be number 1 and number 2, but today, there is only one spot. And since I left both Pikachu and Charizard out of our last videos, I thought I should put them in. But only one. Get the slots out! And we got Charizard! Charizard has been a Pokemon that's held in the highest regard. The only other one that could really top that is Pikachu. But that's not Charizard's fault, that's like being forced to win a race on foot against a cart. Charizard has appeared incredibly frequently in the anime, having many heartfelt and intense moments. It's one of the most picked starter Pokemon, even with it not doing too well against the first 2 gyms it has to face. The cool dragon-like appearance and fiery passion really burns through this Pokemon, eliciting such strong feelings of love towards it. It's hard to even think about the fire typing without thinking about Charizard. Charizard is a frequently favorited Pokemon that has been by my side, sharing in many amazing battles together throughout my playthroughs of the games. And I'm sure that there's a lot of us out there that feel the same way. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you're all having a great day and a wonderful evening, or whatever time it is for you, you know? I don't have a clock on anymore. And if you subscribe or leave a like, you know, that'd be nice, but it's cool. I'm happy to have you all here, and until next time, keep on catching!